stand by for action.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff of Tau Flayer Mouse. Before we dive too deeply into this video, we gotta make sure we talk about the most important thing, and that is how to pronounce the name of this company. In the past, we've called it BRENNEKE. I've heard others people call it BRENNEKE, BRENNEKE, and many others. But if you ask a German, the pronunciation is BRENNEKE. I'd like to thank a viewer named Ross, that's just the name he wants to go by, for generously sending these to us because he really wanted to see them tested, and he put his money where his mouth is. Now, looking at this box, you probably wouldn't think it's the most powerful slug that BRENNEKE produces. After all, it doesn't have a big ferocious grizzly bear on there. And after watching this video, you'll probably wonder why they don't have a T-Rex printed on the box. Because these are designed for rifled barrels only, you'll notice that the ribs angle in the opposite direction. That's to better engage the rifling. When the slug is fired, the gas piston is supposed to compress against the slug like that to help stabilize it in flight. But as we'll see in the test, that doesn't always happen. Let's compare the Magnum Crush to the Black Magic Magnum. Now, the Black Magic Magnum is no slouch. It's a powerful round, but the Magnum Crush beats it in weight. In grains, the Crush is about 657 grains, and the Black Magic is about 600 grains. The Black Magic leaves the barrel at just over 1,500 feet per second and will deliver over 3,000 foot-pounds of energy. Now, the Magnum Crush, despite being a heavier slug, you would expect the velocity to be a little bit lower. But nope, it's nearly 100 feet per second faster and delivers 3,804 foot-pounds of energy. And because of these high weights and high velocities, we have very high pressures. That's why they say rifled shotguns only. Rifled shotguns just have higher pressure tolerances, and I would not recommend shooting these through just a normal smoothbore. Wow.
Man, that'll take the wind out of you.
How on a scale from 1 to 10?
That was a good 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the box, they claim to have exceptional accuracy up to 100 yards. That's probably German yards. In our testing at our private rifle range, we'll be seeing if that claim is true, and we'll also see what kind of power these things actually have. Let's get out there. To ensure we had a fair test, we kept the temperature of the ammunition and the breech at around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Not worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
All right, here we go.
My goodness. Okay, this first shot that we're going to show you is pretty much textbook. It was just a little bit to the left, but the slug functioned perfectly. It flew nice and straight, and it just blasted through all those blocks of gel, creating a massive temporary cavity as it passed through those things. You could tell how much energy that thing had.
Yeah, I can feel it.
You can feel it, and you can see how it threw all those gel blocks around. And we did recover the slug, which was one of our goals.
Yeah, the vest caught it.
Yeah, went through all the gel blocks and was trapped in one of the first vest. It's obviously they're using a very heavy or a very hard lead alloy, maybe antimony or something, tin maybe, who knows.
Oh, look at the center core. Let me scratch that center and let's see how hard that is, because that didn't hardly deform at all.
Right, yeah.
Let's see what we're doing here. No, it's lead.
That's interesting.
Compared to
but
this.
If that was a Foster slug, it would have been the expansion
all over the place.
Yeah, it would have maybe even split it apart.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. You can see how the stem retracted in there. Quite interesting.
It's fairly hard lead, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, people really do like comparisons, and I finally got that through my head. Sometimes we don't have a different slug to test out, or we have with us, but Danny fortunately brought some 1 ounce Foster slugs with a rating of 1560 feet per second, I believe.
Yeah.
1 ounce traveling about this, just a little bit slower than the Brenneke Crush, but I think it'll be a good comparison. The recoil should be less. Well, I would aim to the left or right or a little bit. Then it'll give you some room to shoot the other one, right?
All right, we'll go to the right just a little bit.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
The 3-inch Foster slug traveling just under 1,600 feet per second did a substantial amount of damage. Not too bad. Now we'll try with the Brenneke Crush. 50% heavier and about 50 feet per second faster. In this test, we see that we have a failure of the tail assembly. This causes the slug to really lose a lot of stability. It was really wobbling around a lot there. And this is a problem we also had with the Brenneke Special Forces slugs.
Yeah, definitely hits harder. This is what was left of that Crush. Pretty much turned it inside out. All the pedals are laying back this way.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the Brenneke Crush, 1.5 ounce. And this is the Foster Slug, 1 ounce.
Yeah, a little bit different. I was really thinking that we were going to have complete penetration.
Well, we do have a pretty good bulge.
Yeah?
No brag, just fact. This one did bulge it a little bit, but I've got about twice as much here.
Okay, and that's the thickest lead plate we've got. Very, very impressive. It hit where you're aiming, right?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see what it does to a mild steel plate. See what kind of dent it leaves in that. Again, we have the plate at an angle, so there's no chance of it bouncing back at us or anything like that. We're keeping the gun and the ammunition as cool as possible to simulate their laboratory conditions. High temperatures could sometimes cause failures. So
yeah,
we've actually
that.
We actually have the ammo on ice. We'd rather have it too cold than too hot. We've seen a lot of failures in the past from over temperature. So we want to give it a fair test. We see another failure of the tail assembly in this shot. Despite that the accuracy wasn't greatly affected, all these shots so far are at 15 yards or 45 feet. Mild steel, how thick is that, 3/8 inch?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Just mild steel.
5/16, 3/8,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Very, very deep dent in it. Almost went through.
That's almost, that would almost make OG happy. Not quite though. It actually fractured the steel here. Almost went through.
Wow.
This is what we recovered laying on the ground about 10 feet past our target.
Okay, I'm surprised we found anything. Still, it's almost, you can almost recognize it as a slug. You can tell they're using a hard lead in their composition.
A little splash, the pedals.
Yeah, yeah. And you can tell by the other dents, various other impacts, you know, give you some kind of comparison of past tests. You know, if you're not, you know, if you haven't watched all our videos, then you don't know what I'm talking about, but that just gives you an idea.
It almost tacoed that thing. It bent it actually a little bit.
Can you angle it towards me? Oh yeah, look at that. Wow.
That was pretty flat.
Woo! That's pretty impressive. How about a bowling pin? You got some very hard wood. Very difficult to penetrate that with any shotgun slug. Okay.
Got a feeling these are going to do a good job of it.
Yeah, yeah. Hard lead, fast lead, and heavy lead. 3 things that have, if you want penetration, that's what you need.
Eyes and ears. Here we go.
Okay. I'm ready when you are. Look at that thing go. In this test, we have another textbook example of how the Magnum Crush is supposed to perform as it's flying through the air. We didn't have the separation of that tail assembly. And because the slug impacted nice, straight, and true and didn't hit sideways, we had maximum penetration on this shot. Got it fairly close to the center at the thickest part of the bowling pin, I might add.
A little bit to the right.
Little right. It looks like it went all the way through.
I believe so, because that's the wad right there.
Yeah, the wad was just kind of snagged on there, but the slug has exited the building, folks. I did not expect that. That's, you know, if there's one slug that can do that, this is it.
What are they using these, maple or something? Some kind of...
Ash or
Definitely hardwood.
I'm sure, you know, I've watched a video on how they made them, and it's kind of fascinating, and I can't remember, but it's a very, very hard wood. How about some Russian ballistic gel? We'll shoot straight down the grain of this big block of wood, see if we can split it, see how deep the penetration is, whatever. Very difficult target. Russian ballistic gel. I'm ready.
Here we go.
Well, it fractured the wood. Nice clean center shot. Well, we have another tail separation, a failure of the design on this shot. When we tested the BRENNEKE short Magnum Special Forces slugs, which has almost 2 million views, you would think that BRENNEKE would have addressed this issue and corrected it. But we're seeing very similar problems with this product. Now, we still had very impressive penetration as Danny tears into the block like the Incredible Hulk here. The slug did break into a couple pieces. The largest piece is approximately 7 inches in the wood. Wants to taste the rainbow, right?
I want to scatter the Skittles.
Oh, scatter the Skittles. There you go, 6 gallons of water. Let's see if the slug will pass all the way through that. Okay, you ready to taste the flavor? Taste the rainbow?
Let's do this.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, there goes the table. Ah! Well, it looks like I picked just about the perfect number of 1 gallon jugs to shoot at. We shot at 6, and we had excellent penetration through this. Now, it is possible it could have gone through 1 or 2 more jugs. I just need to get my kids to drink much more milk so I can gather up more of these jugs. Okay, so what happened, Danny?
We definitely scattered the Skittles. It's hard to say which one was in front.
Probably the one that in the biggest pieces. I thought I had them all color coded by the, you know, the spectrum.
Like that one?
Yeah, there's very small pieces. Sometimes they'll just split them open. This one blew them into many pieces. Very powerful hydrostatic shock from that high velocity.
This was our last one. It
had enough energy to go all the way through it. So we had
all the way through
full penetration of 6 jugs.
Caught it in our vest.
Now you remember that Buffalo Outdoors with his 458 SOCOM and that what is it, the Bushmaster?
Yeah.
He only went in like 3 jugs, I think.
But we recovered.
Okay. And that was on the ground?
That was on the ground, right, the vest was almost covering it up. So
okay.
It traveled with the vest out there.
Okay, yeah, there's a big dent in the vest.
Right here.
Okay. Still had substantial energy then, even after going through 5 gallons of water.
And the wad stayed with it.
Okay.
Or the cushion part.
Yeah.
The little stem.
Oh, the little stem is not there.
Stem is gone.
Yeah.
But
okay, let me get a close-up of that. after going through so much water. Not much deformation. Seems to use a really hard center core. Look at that. And of course, everyone wants to know how accurate they are. We'll take 3 shots at 50 yards at a piece of drywall. It should, you know, should show up really well, and also have a little white puff when it hits. Where's your point of aim at?
That blue laser dot down there.
You're gonna put it right on the dot.
I'm gonna hold it right on the dot and see how much deviation we get.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
All right.
Right into the berm back there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take another one. Or 2 more, actually.
Let me get a cold shot.
Okay. Those are some mean slugs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to shoot these all day.
No, I'm surprised you hold up this well.
All right, shot number 2.
Still, that one hit in the berm again.
Number 3.
Wow. I only got one high-speed camera shot of the long-range test. This one performed perfectly, dragging a massive shockwave across the ground. The 3-shot group test was okay. If they fix their defect issues, they could definitely tighten that up. Okay, it gives you an idea of the size of it. It's only about 12-inch square there.
Yeah, 50 yards, and I don't have any magnification on my red dot.
That's true.
My red dot's covering that, but I can still get it pretty centered. So, I don't know which was which, but 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That'll knock a hog down at 50 yards.
I think so. Not bad, not bad.
And then our berm is, what, 150 yards away?
Yeah. People don't think we don't have a backstop, but we actually have a ditch bank back there that acts as a berm. You can see it impacting that.
All right.
Not bad, not bad. There you go. BRENNEKE crush. I'd like to see your shoulder after a few days.
You may not want to feel it.
Purple. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Always want to thank our Patreon and channel members, supporters, but also our regular viewers who leave nice comments, share our videos, and all that stuff. We'll always enjoy reading them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.